I wouldn't do. No, you wouldn't do that. But try to put yourself in a scenario where you would.
Yeah, 100%.
Conceive that for a moment. What would drive you to do that, and then that's how you bring it to. So
yeah,
it kind of does it for me. But then, Roger was talking to me about something before we started the stream about acting, right? And how when he first came across me, I was on Old John's channel. Old John's a hero of mine. I was geeking out that he was here. I miss seeing the guy. Been catching up with some of his videos here recently. But yeah, he said he saw me acting, and
nice.
I like to do monologues. So I was doing monologues from Shakespeare, I think, when Roger first kind of stumbled up on me. That was kind of like we weren't niched down. That was all on what was supposed to be old gen versus new gen. And we were doing the food fight things. But the kind of how darker things, the whole point of darker things came about because we did, and Zach, I think you were around for that. I think you saw the videos. You were one of the people who was impressed with that one. We did a video on Midget Mansion.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Which was in our neighborhood. And the home had burned down. And there was the lore about the midget house. And servants were all midgets. Or not midgets. Servants were regular sized people, but they were forced to live in the midget servants' quarters and all that. And do you know that to date, even though we kind of jumped from that channel, that became the most popular video on our gaming channel.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Of all the videos recorded, that's the one who still gets views, and the others aren't even getting views anymore. They have to slide for real quick while the algorithm's pushing them, and then we don't see views anymore. But this one, that is still getting views. There's something to that. My son, New Gen, was like, you might want to explore that some more, Dad, because you were really good at that.
I studied YouTube a lot because I've been on YouTube since the second generation of YouTubers. So I've got to study the differences, and I know when I see that video going up and it's continuing to get views even today, that's content that we clearly struck a nail with, and that's something we should go with.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's kind of how it got birthed, right? He was already on the burnout with the video games, and he saw that video. It's like, seriously, Dad, that's the video's got the most views ever. I'm kind of burnt out. I need to take a break. Why don't you just start a channel doing that stuff for a while? We'll get back to the games. I'm like, you know what? I have to honor you where you're at, son. I don't want to. You got involved in this because you wanted to do it. But right now you're feeling burnt out and you're not enjoying it. And I really felt there was a shift for a while in the energy between him and I, even on camera. Where it was like, this feels more forced. So let's not do this right now. And we were having fun the other day with just like trying to figure out. We were like, hey, what do you want us to play as? And that's kind of what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to engage no matter what I'm doing. Just like Fawn said, I'm trying to engage my community. Do you think Lizzie Borden was guilty or not? Do you have a suggestion for us? What do you want us to cover? We want to know.
Yeah, of course.
I'm about building community. I really am.
Right. Of course.
And and the tech side of things, I struggle the most, and it's like getting back to the sound. Sound. Audio is my biggest struggle. Because I'll think, even on this last video, the Lizzie Borden video that I produced, I thought I nailed it. And then I was listening, it's weird. I'm not vain. I don't like to watch myself, but I have to watch videos that I'm producing, and I still wind up watching the finished product, or at least portions of it, so that I can see if it rendered the way I wanted it to look. The finished product was close to But I was listening towards the end, and the music actually swelled, and I still got muddied out. It was a much tinier portion of the video, but it was still there, and I'm like, dang it, I thought I was finally past that.
It's like going back to like the audio, the thing I struggle with, like you say, is like it is the audio sometimes. Like the background music is so, when I do put it in for like, when I do like like the movie reviews that I do and stuff like that, it is the background audio, because it's the last thing I put in. It's like it's so hard to like get it right so it's not too loud, but it's still like being able to listen to it, but it's not like overpowering what I'm the whole video, kind of like that. and being vain, you get. I hated watching myself back. I was like, oh my god, is that what I sound like? And I was like,
yes.
Like physically, like when I first started, I was like, nope, that is not good at all. Now I'm just like, yeah, and you'll learn as well. Like coming from someone who's done it for a while and had 4 channels, because I have a short attention span. You just get more comfortable on camera. Like what you see on camera, what you see, like any video is how I am in real life. It's not forced. It's not forced. Like at the beginning, like when I first started videos on my Golf Gone Disney channel, was like my top 10 favorite Disney characters, and it was just like the most shit quality video in the world. But you've got to start from somewhere, and like you just become more comfortable, you become more confident, because it feels weird talking to yourself on camera. Like it does. Like it's very, very weird. It's, yeah. Like you get used to it eventually, and then then you'll have the realization of like, oh yeah, I do talk to myself quite a bit. It's just like, yeah.
One of the things that helped me with that, Zach, is I would actually, when I first started doing the Darker Thieves channel, I said, okay, this is gonna sound weird, Trace, right?
Yeah.
But I want you to stand on the other side of the laptop right now while I'm doing this, and I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna tell the story to you.
Yeah.
Great deal.
Yeah,
right?
that's a good way to do it, actually.
Right now, I guess the other thing I struggle with is finding the balance between, I'm both editor, producer, and talent, right?
Yeah.
I kind of have to find that balance, because that's why I'll bounce on to, hey, Zach, can you take a look at this? Hey, Roger, can you take a look at this before this goes to production? I want another set of eyes and ears on this, because I'm going to be biased.
Yeah.
Right? I've already put forth my best ever. If I'm presenting something to someone to take a look at, I love the critical stuff I get. I love the feedback I'm getting. Like you gave me great. Hey, Doug, I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but the only thing I saw, there was a couple spots where it was dead air. Basically, is what you were telling me. There was no sound or lag. And it moved kind of slow. I don't know if that was intentional. Well, it wasn't. I'm so glad you caught it. And I was like, well, what do you mean? I didn't have the ears up, but I went back. Oh, right there. Oh, right there. So getting back to like the tech side of that, again, the script has helped me with that, right?
Yeah.
Because what it does, they call it ducking. So you can go through and you can look at the timeline and you can see where's the space between when you last said something and where that dead air is. And Premiere Pro just recently upgraded and is doing that also. Nice, so if you look into the concert, you can see the gap. And instead of me having to go through and re-edit the video, this is the amazing part of it. With the script, I just highlight that gap. I delete it, it trims it automatically for me.
Nice.
It's a time saver.
Yeah.
Now, Fallen said you guys got me excited, so I can tell you guys are ready, almost jealous. And then he goes on to say, I pretend I'm talking to you guys, so you gotta kind of watch out there. He's got these woohoo, like talking to himself situations where he's talking to us by himself, so he might like go a little nuts on us. So, but he did say he pretends that he's talking to us guys, and you guys are supportive of each other. I see you guys going far for this. So he says most detectives are crazy.
Touche, brother, touche.
Yeah, for real. We're all crazy in our own little way, aren't we? Like 100%. But yeah, I get that, because like what Fallen was saying, like where is the comment now? Like you pretend you're talking to you guys. Like I get it. Like when I'm not doing the podcast, I'm physically talking to someone. I try and make the script like a conversation, and like say, it all comes back to at the end of the video. Share your thoughts. What do you want to cover? That's where you bring in the community and everything like that. And I say communication's key with what we're doing here, and it's just you've got to have that conversation with yourself and be like, that back and forth, you've got to do it. Like, you've got to get the information across, you've got to share it, whatever the topic is. Like, you know, like one of my favorite videos that I did was the story of the haunted mansion, which was like, that was a fun video to make. I really enjoyed that one. And another one that I really, really enjoyed was the conspiracy theory one that I just did. Now, granted, that one did not do as well as I thought it'd do, and you know, like, I was thinking, oh mate, this'll people will love this, and it's like, no. I mean, fair enough. You know, at the end of the day, it's not about the views. I enjoyed making it. I loved it. I put on the stupid "good evening and welcome," like a proper, like, cheesy paranormal, like, TV show that I used to. And the inspiration I got from this, I don't know what it was called. I can't think what it's called, but it was this man that stood in, like, this dark, like, room, and he was like, what was it called? Was it like called Paranormal Stories or Unsolved Paranormal or something like that?
Unsolved
And it was like, good evening. That's the one. What, the Unsolved Mysteries? It was Roger got it. Yeah. Yes, I used to love that. That guy was like, tonight on Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah, that was a whole inspiration for that video. I was like, yes. Oh, that was so, yeah, but yeah.
I kind of got to bring that here into some of the videos, like.
Oh yeah, 100%. You do.
I think initially I was kind of being a goofball with, and I was like, wait a minute, hold up. I asked my son, why am I being a goofball? This is some serious stuff I'm talking about, right? He's like, well, Dad, maybe you're not as comfortable talking about death all the time as you think you are, and it manifests with you being goofy. I said, yeah, but I gotta rein that in. I can't be goofy like that, because that's gonna set some people off, right?
Yeah.
And so, I think, you know, and we had played with the whole, man, that was challenging, by the way. Like, I think Rogers told me before, he hates to mask.
Yeah.
But when I was trying to do, like, there's been a departure from that because it took so much time editing. But the first two topics I covered with Jim Jones and the People's Temple and David Koresh, you guys, I don't know if you guys saw those, but you remember, I think Zach's watched them all. But when I had that guy, basically the Man of Shadows, who would talk like this.
Yeah.
You would see no head.
Yeah.
You could see the body, right?
Yeah.
So, not a disembodied head, but a body without a head, so to speak.
Yeah.
That would take me, let's say, because the power of my computer, now with my new computer that I've been using for editing, that's not necessarily the case. It renders things 10 times faster.
Yeah.
It would take me like a little 5-minute clip of the, you know, Man of Shadows would wind up taking me like 45 minutes to render out.
Yeah.
Like, is it worth it? I don't think so.
Zach, I have a question for you. So I know you like Disney. How much do you know about the Discovery Island and stuff, why it closed down and all that?
Oh, urban legends, yeah, man. I can talk about that. That was so Discovery Island was the prequel essentially to Animal Kingdom. It's situated on Bay Lake, which is like Seven Seas Lagoon, just outside of Magic Kingdom, Polynesian. You can still see it today; it's still there. And last I heard, there was urban like, I don't know what they called, urban explorers going there as like, oh, it must have been about a month ago. Everything's still there. Everything's still there from like, obviously all the animals have gone and things like that, but all the buildings are there. They're all derelict. All the equipment's still there. It's very, very haunting. There's two big YouTubers that made their mark with urban exploring and stuff like that, with like Disney Community. And one of them I still watch this day, called Adam the Woo. He used to be a Disney urban explorer. He did his exploring with like Discovery Island. He went backstage to the Utilidors, did all the exploring. He got banned from Disney World for a good few years. I think it was only like 2 or 3 years ago he was actually able to like go back on property.
He was actually he did a whole thing before Warner Brothers shut down Warner Brothers Ranch.
Yeah,
he went on the map lot and showed all the history and arcana that they're gonna destroy, basically.
Yeah.